Okay, so how did I go about graduated exposure therapy? Well, the first thing, and I can't stress this enough, I can't stress how important this is. The first thing you're going to do is whenever you're out in public, if the opportunity arises, go to the toilets when you don't need to pee. And it will give you an opportunity to get that feeling of I belong here. Going to the toilets is a normal thing. I belong here just as much as all these other guys do. And because you're going in there and you don't need to pee, there's no pressure on you to perform. And this is where I started. I didn't start by going into public bathrooms needing to pee and attempting to pee. I didn't do that. That wasn't my first step. First step was to commit to whenever the opportunity became available, I'd get in the toilets. I'd be in a stall and I'd commit to staying in that stall in the cubicle for 3 to 5 minutes. And I'd just mess about with my smartphone, and when the 3 to 5 minutes are up, I'd leave. And you know, sometimes I'd do that and I didn't really have a high urgency to pee, and I ended up peeing. And it was because I wasn't going there with the intention of peeing, so there was no pressure for me to pee, because that's not what my aim was. My aim is just to get myself there, just to get myself into a stall. If there were no stalls available, I would queue for one, get into a stall, stay there for 3 to 5 minutes. Do that as often as you can. So as I mentioned in the last video, my approach to it was to go about my daily life and get exposure when the opportunity arose. And I did experience success with that, and I did grow in confidence. I ended up being able to pee in situations I couldn't have imagined that I would be able to. But you know, it didn't take me all the way. I wasn't fully recovered. I was still a bit fearful, a bit, you know, edgy around social situations and going to parties and that kind of thing. And I remember around that time, it's about 7 years ago, I split up with my girlfriend at the time, and I attribute that splitting up, I attribute that to my low confidence at the time and my insecurity around my shy bladder and social situations in general. I wasn't the most sociable person, and I would back out of engagements and that kind of thing. So something snapped within me. I decided to commit to getting out there specifically to get exposure, and I took every opportunity possible, and I arranged going out for coffees, going out to restaurants with friends. I said yes to every social event I was invited to, went through with it. I went through the chaos. Gradually I improved in confidence, and I was able to get to my 10, which was urinating at a busy nightclub. And I can remember being at the nightclub, loud music was playing, so loud that the floor was vibrating. I remember getting into the toilets, and the toilet's pretty atrocious in this nightclub. There was no lock on the door either. That was a pressure situation for me, but because I'd been getting exposure, I was confident enough to go through it. Okay, if I pee, if I don't pee, main thing is I'm getting exposure, and I'm not avoiding that kind of situation. So I'm there attempting to urinate. I wasn't able to, and I thought, right, okay, nothing's happening, I'll leave. I was about to walk out of the toilets, something snapped inside me. I thought, frig this, did a complete U-turn. No one batted an eyelid that I'd done a complete U-turn. Got into a different stall. There was still no lock on this door. Closed it as best I could, and I was able to pee. And I don't know, it's something about that wild abandon where you just throw caution to the wind. So if at this point you're thinking, but Mike, I am nowhere near ready to go out there and attempt to pee in public, you don't need to. The first step for you is, when you're out in public, go to a public bathroom even when you don't need to pee. Okay, that's the first step for you. So stick with me I've still got more to share with you on this. Hope you got something from this video. Catch you on the next one.